Welcome to the Pineapple Pinup, the Hot Wife Life. I'm so sorry about last week. I was real sick. I hope you enjoyed this week's recording. Today, I want to talk to you about toys. As we mentioned when Scoot and I were having our conversation, I don't know if you can call it a collection because it's not like anything stays mint in package. But I do have a large number of toys. I have everything ranging from dildos of a variety of size and a rainbow of colors, each with its own um, specific base. Um, to try to explain that. So there are some dildos that are suction cupped so that you can attach them to a wall or a surface. There are some that are meant for holding. There are some that are meant for the Vaculock system, which of course I have a plenty. I have actually several systems, but the Vaculock system is one that we have. So I have dildos like crazy, and dildos are great for different things to with for connectivity. So my husband and I, he likes to do this thing where he lays out 3 different size dildos, and then I'm in a gangbang. So it's an at-home gangbang, and these are games that we played prior to ever getting in the lifestyle. This was a way to ease into and sort of figure out how each different size unit was able to create different pleasures. It was really important in those early days to run the scenario and see how incredibly hot it made each one of us. It was a precursor to everything that we did when we finally got fully into the life and started doing parties. It was very much a tutorial, if you will. I also have vibes. Of course, every girl has vibes. I'm sorry, but we just have them. Jackrabbits, G-spot stimulators. Now, it depends on the type of play. The type of play where my husband is in control of the cock, that is 100% dildo territory, okay? Because men now, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to dildos for a second. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait on that. I'm gonna wait on that. Sorry, I'm gonna keep pressing forward with the vibrator speak. Vibrators are very much a woman exercising by herself kind of motif. Um, there are specific vibes that are for couple play, and that I'm not doubting that at all. But when you put a man in charge of a vibrating dildo, they oftentimes don't know what they're trying to accomplish. And when my husband gets a dildo vibe, he will sometimes use it like a regular dildo and miss the point of the vibration. And then it gets very chaotic for me inside of my head. Like I can't figure out where my pleasure is supposed to be coming from. And it ends up being just this overwhelming when I do orgasm, it just becomes this overwhelming, and then I'm tapping out. The thing is that a vibe is very much designed to stimulate a couple of different areas in a woman's vagina. It is meant to stimulate her clit on the outside with the rabbit ears, and it is meant to stimulate her G spot on the inside. Now, the length of it and the rotation and all those things that they put inside of those little mechanisms, those are all designed to stimulate the wall so that there's not as much thrusting that needs to happen. That is all taken care of by those little rotating and wiggling, and that's what that's designed to do. Now, when a man is ramming it in and out and the vibe is barely catching the places where it's supposed to catch, it becomes something where, of course, you're climbing a mountain, but you have no idea who's holding the map. That map has been burnt and wrinkled and soaked, and like that map is barely hanging on if you're not using it right, because it's so chaotic. You're lucky to get to the end. That being said, vibes are awesome for more of a show, more of a, so you came home and caught me with my boyfriend. Oh no, whatever will you do? Maybe just stand over there in the corner and watch how he pleasures me. More of that kind of a vibe, more of that kind of a scenario. So that's why vibes are very much made. Every single woman has plenty of bobs in her nightstand. There's a reason for it, because it gets us where we need to go relatively quickly and without a lot of mess. It's actually kind of a nice change of pace from the waterworks. So that's kind of the difference between the dildo and the vibe. The dildo is very much something I enjoy playing with in the two of us scenario. And the vibe is very much something that is more of a hands off for him kind of thing. Because while it is always pleasurable, it, like I said, it can be very overwhelming to every single one of your senses. Now, let's talk about other vibrations. Okay, so if anybody's ever had like a We vibe or the U-shaped vibe that is designed to clamp your G-spot and your clit while you're being fucked, that is a very nice vibe. It tends to not have the strength of vibration to really send me, but it is kind of a nice tickle for me. I understand that my clit is very spoiled. I mean, my clit has a frickin' Symbian, so I am definitely I'm definitely talking about first world problems right now. So the We Vibe is a very, very interesting toy to play with. Because it does do the G-spot stimulation, but I find it dulls the motion. Like, I don't get as much motion across my G-spot, which tends to be the thing that stimulates my G-spot and creates rain showers. Now, a vibe is great. I'm never going to complain about vibration because basically your G-spot is the back side of that nerve ending that is your clit. It's kind of like it's all right there. You're either talking to it from behind or you're talking to it from the front. And believe me when I tell you, there is no such thing as bad vibration, that area just loves to be paid attention to. It is definitely a show off. So the We vibe and the little personal finger vibes and the little waterproof vibes and the lipstick vibes, I have never really found one that was powerful enough to do the job the way the Hitachi magic wand does. And anybody out there who plays should know the Hitachi magic wand as if it were gospel. Because not only is the Hitachi magic wand an amazing back vibrator, an amazing like massager for really cramped muscles, it is also incredibly good at relieving stress, even if you only hold your stress in one very specific spot. The stress, because I tend to hold all of my tension right there in my clit. That's, and I really love waking up with my magic wand almost every single day. A magic wand should be a staple in any woman's bedroom. It's got 4 speeds. It's also got 4 different vibration settings for variated vibration. I'm not going to tell you how to use a wand because it's pretty simple. And a lot of times now, Hitachi magic wands will come with various and sundry like attachments for the head that you can use in place of a jackrabbit, you can use in place of a clit stimulator, in place of a G-spot stimulator. There's all sorts of attachments that you can get for the head of a Hitachi wand. I'm kind of a purist. I just like my wand. The one thing I will say about the Hitachi, the big one is the normal one, is very bulky in relationship to partner sex. It requires space and but I have had my husband completely frickin' hijack my vibration by just basically pressing against it and trapping it where it is, which means whatever spot it's on, that's the part that's going to get stimulated. And if it's overstimulating my clit, that's too bad. Too freaking bad. I'm not going to be able to move it. So, Hitachi Magic Wand is 100% a staple in any bedroom. It is amazing for all sorts of things outside of sex, but it is also amazing for all sorts of things inside of sex. And if you have ever had a magic wand blowjob, you will understand what it is that I'm talking about. It is really good for a man, or it can be. It depends on, obviously, it depends on every single man. It depends on every single woman. There are some women that are like, get that thing away from me. But the Hitachi magic wand used in a blowjob is it's right there in the title, magic. And it can be very chaotic because again, somebody who is controlling the vibration is not the person experiencing the vibration. And it can be again very chaotic to the senses. Anywho, so my Hitachi magic wand, but what is the Hitachi magic wand in comparison to my Symbian? Okay. I say Symbian, and I know there's no M in Symbian, but I can't say Sybian. I can only say Symbian, okay? All right. I cannot say enough good things about my Symbian. I will tell you a story. I got my husband ordered it, and I knew that he had ordered it, and we were waiting for it to be delivered. And one day I was with my best friend and we were getting ready to leave, and the UPS driver showed up. And he brought this very heavy box to my door. And he said, "This is a heavy box. I think it's a box of wine." And I'm like, "Oh." And he goes, "I hope you guys get to relax and use this." And my best friend, knowing exactly what was in the box, could not contain herself, started laughing hysterically because why in the world would anyone assume that a heavy box was just wine? But the fact that he said, "You guys should relax with this," was way too much for her to control because I took that box and I was like, "Oh, believe me, we will." My Simeon is amazing. My husband bought me all the attachments, and I have to say, I freaking love that thing. Oh my god. Now, the problem is he bought that thing while I still had young children in the house, and that thing sounds like a Harley. When it gets truly going, it's got it's got jet engine power, and it was impossible to use it in my house without it echoing through all the floors of my house. So, it was something that could only be brought out when the children were away. Um, in the meantime, though, we have found putting it on the bed is good for noise dampening, but actually harder to use. It is very much designed to be on a solid surface so that your knees have purchase. Or if you're lucky like me and you have a hope chest exactly the right size, you can set that thing on top of the hope chest and then straddle the hope chest and the Simeon and use it standing up, which will weaken your knees. It will it is I can't even. The mess I have made using my Simeon is unreal. Um, it is without a doubt the one thing, if you are looking to learn how to squirt, this thing is gonna teach you. This thing is going to teach you how to make a god awful mess. I love my Simeon. I love now, where the Simeon falls short is there are so few attachments. There's so few. There's like small, medium, large. No long. Well, I don't know that you could really do terribly long on the Symbian because of the way that you have to use it and the way that it powers. I'm not entirely sure that length is something that you really want to go for because it's really trying to focus in on your G spot and your clit and get that area working to its maximum potential. So adding length would probably not be the best idea. So it's really more of a girth machine. Um, but it only has the 3. And it also has like dual dildos. It's got all sorts of good fun things that you can experiment and try. And men, if you're looking for something for your prostate, this ain't bad. There's so many different it is ugh, I can't even tell you how awesome it is. It's a machine designed to make you come, and believe me, you will. Now, the Simeon, because of its volume and its size, it's not really something that you can, do it's not a real travel-friendly toy. It's not a real, like, storage friendly. It's really one of those things where it's nice to have a space for it and just let it be. Now, another thing that I have, that I broke was my fuckbot. Um, my fuckbot was amazing. It was an arm that was on a like I can't even describe it, but what it does is it stimulates a little bit of vibration and thrust. It is a kind of on a it's like a hamster on a wheel. It goes around and around and it pulls in and out. And it is great. It makes a noise that is so rhythmic and it gets inside your head like it's speaking. Um, every time I'd hear that thing going, it would loop in my head and it was like it was saying something to me. And I would kind of get distracted by that, but sometimes that's good. Um, a fuckbot plus a magic wand. um, it's raining, boys. It's raining. Um, it is a the fuckbot was amazing. It was something that was also something that my husband could set up and basically force me to be in the scenario a lot longer than when he's responsible for motivating the dildos because of anybody who has done dildo play, especially men who are on the giving end, that is very rough on your shoulders and your arms. It's very fatiguing. It's kind of like blowjobs for women. It can be very fatiguing because they're trying to make it last. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen on the women's side of things. We don't try to make it last. We're just aiming for the thing and we just keep going for the thing and keep giving us the thing. So it's women being greedy and men trying to hold on to the greedy. So, but the fatigue is real. Like at some point, you got to pause. And the problem that most women have is that the minute a woman says, I'm going to come, a man will speed up or get a little bit funkier with his rhythm or alter something even just slightly. When a woman says, I'm going to come, that means let's maintain exactly what we're doing. Do not change it one iota. Do not change the rhythm. Do not change the depth. Do not change anything. Because if you change it, it's going to undo all the things that you had just been doing so perfectly that we're going to make her come. Stay the course. Stay the course. And that's the nice thing about the fuckbot is that it's not changing, it's not altering. The only thing that can really happen is your husband can stand over there in the corner with the little dial and turn it up. And then all of a sudden, you're literally fucking like a rabbit. So it's the very funnest kinds of games that you can play, handing the remote over to someone, handing the controls to the simian over to someone, and having them make the decisions about what's going on. And you can't follow along because there's no following the script when somebody else is writing it. So, very, very much, I am pro both of those. I also have all kinds of bondage equipment, spreader bars, cuffs, bed ties, uh, sheet ties. Um, I I have clamps, plenty clamps galore. I have um, I have I can't even go into all of it. I have crops, I have floggers, I have impact tools, paddles, I have um the games that you play in the bedroom are 100% to whatever you want them to be. Now, mind you, some of the things my husband and I have used, like, one time, and we're like, no, thank you." And it's partially the fact that it's the chemistry between the 2 of us. We are not designed for, um, crop play. I, my husband is not allowed to use a crop on me anymore, other than the fact that it makes me giggle when he does it, which is not great. I mean, when you're trying to be having a giggly girl is probably not the role that was designed for. Floggers are awesome, though. I personally love them. Um, Now we also have harnesses. Um, we have oh my goodness, that just so many things. If there's one thing in particular that you'd like to talk about, please don't hesitate to hit me up on my email, pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com. I will answer any of your questions. I will give you stories about anything that I've done, and just let me know what you want me to talk about. So, I want to apologize profusely for the fact that I was sick last week, but, this is an important part of the lifestyle, taking care of yourself, making sure that you are not burning the candle at both ends, making sure that you are not robbing Peter to pay Paul, you're not taking something away from yourself that you really need in order to so I've been traveling and it's a lot of stress. And I, of course, didn't do the self-care things that I do every single day when I live in my home, which is take my vitamins and my supplements and make sure that I'm getting the proper amount of water and doing all those things. I did not take care of myself on this trip, and it definitely showed when I got back. I got extraordinarily sick and had to take time off work and take time off of this. I could barely speak because I was so congested, you could barely understand me. If I had been able to, I would have powered through, but you guys would not have been able to understand this when I was talking about. And you guys would have been like, what is happening right now? What is she even saying? So for me, I have learned a very valuable lesson. It is very much time to always be mindful that you have to take care of you. You have to take, whatever supplements or whatever keep you healthy, but also you need to get your STI test done. It needs to be a regular part of your play. It needs to be a regular part of everybody's play. It needs to be something where you take the time to say, I'm living a dangerous lifestyle. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself and I want to make sure that I'm taking care of others. The testing is an important part of the lifestyle. Making sure that we are looking out for one another, making sure that we are not the cause of our community becoming unwell. Take the time, not only for yourself, but the people that you love and the people that you play with. It's important, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter. All right, so I have a question for all of you since I don't have any questions to answer today. um, my question for all of you is, what part of the lifestyle is the most intimidating for you? What part of the lifestyle makes you more anxious than anything else? Um, I'll give you my examples. The part of the lifestyle that gives me the most anxiety is dating. Is when men ask me out on dates. I have never been good at dating. Um, I don't know how to turn down a man. My husband always has to step in and say, "We only meet people at parties." My thing is that I don't date. I am not good at dating. I am much better when I'm not kind of putting that pressure on myself. And I'm not really looking for a relationship. So sitting around a table, sharing a meal, talking about my favorite color and the last book I read just doesn't really kind of fit into my mental picture because I'm in a relationship and I'm not kind of looking for another heartfelt, deep, emotional relationship. So that's the part that's the most intimidating for me. Reach out and let me know what the most intimidating part for you is. Thank you for joining me today on the Pineapple Pinup Hot Wife Life podcast. If you are enjoying it, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, send me a question. You can hit me up directly at pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for listening.